Welcome to the Wormhole, where keeping it real is expected. There are a couple million podcasts you could be tuned into, but you chose to take this journey with us, and for that, we thank you. Without further ado, the Wormhole with Tim and Troy.
But then you got to think about our other brothers and sisters of fair skin. A lot of them ain't did shit. They got their shit from other people. You know what I'm saying? They did shit. They didn't go do anything. You still got people be like, but one day, they gon' get what's coming to them. This family been doing this shit for 500-600 years. The money ain't ran out yet. So like, man, I don't know. So now is it their fault or is it your fault for you keep letting them get over on you?
Whose fault is it at this point?
Whose fault is it at this
just
point?
said something. We always take this shit out the Bible. Something about the meek gonna inherit the earth, or somebody gonna be who is below gonna be first, and all that. Like, how much longer are we going to wait for that pecking order to happen? I have heard that term or saying or a verse so long in my life.
Let it go, Troy. I know, man. I feel you, Black. I feel you.
When are we gonna realize going to a HBCU, shooting a fucking school up on a game night or some gathering? When are we gonna realize nobody's making us do that? That is us. And we got people that say, "Oh man, that's propaganda." They just fill the news up. No. These are niggas actually doing this idiotic shit. And if you go down to these certain cities that I just cannot stand, I won't even name these cities because I don't want to just push nobody away. But it's a few cities out there, and my hometown being one of them, and it's way too small for this kind of violence. My mom passed about 5 or 6 years ago. The funeral plot that we buried her in was probably about, I'll say 2 football field big, and only about 10% of it was filled up, including her. It's about 90% of this 2 football field, 200 yard, 300 yard, whatever. Ask me how it looks right now.
You're full.
Full ain't the word. It's their capacity.
It's young folks too?
Man, it's babies out there, young people, drive-bys. I'm talking about wrecks and shootings. It's ridiculous. My hometown is a very small hometown. We had a 5A school, but it was only one high school in the whole town. Right. And even the bordering towns, some of those people were allotted to come to our high school. So we were a 5A school, but it was the whole goddamn town. Mm-hmm. And it is, when I was growing up, I'm 42, I was in school 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. There was not gunshots. When somebody got shot, when there was a gunshot, somebody shot in the air, it was the most craziest news you ever heard. Now, it's like every other day, every other weekend. True story. I want to say it was Labor Day. My wife and I went to my hometown, stayed for a few minutes. It was starting to get dark. I was like, you know what, babe? It seems so nice in the towns, in the city today. I hope nobody don't get shot. Guess what happened? 2 people got shot that night.
Damn.
For what?
For what?
It's people out here driving cars through black people's crowds and shooting us in churches. Why the fuck we killing each other? What have we done to each other so disgusting that we gotta shoot each other fucking dead in the street?
I don't know, man. I really think it's a real bad chemical motherfucking imbalance.
When did it happen? When did it start?
I don't know.
Baby food, you think?
Man, probably so, man. Prenatal vitamins, all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it really is. I've never seen it so much in my life. How we so quick to shoot each other, and we'll not won't even ball your fist up at a white boy.
You know why? Black people play crazy, and all my life, and I know as well as yours, you done had these niggas around the neighborhood that play crazy. Black people know how to play crazy, and we know how to play hard, because the only niggas that we are aggressive towards are each other. We only aggressive towards black people because we know that the recourse, or we know that the retaliation from if you shoot somebody black, you may get some or you may get no retaliation. If you shoot somebody white, there will be all kinds of resources. There'll be helicopters, and they would not stop until they get you and everybody you fucking know. And if it's the police, it's gonna be the same way. They coming in and they busting your door off the hinges. There is no laying low. They gonna bust your door open. They gonna bust your girlfriend, your mama. They busting everybody door open until they find your black ass. That's why we don't fuck with white people, because we scared of the fucking recourse.
Man, and that, and that's so goddamn sad. And I don't even know why half of these man niggas be having problems with each other, man. What are we into it for? I don't even understand. Like, man, if it's by money, I understand it to a certain amount. But if I can look at a motherfucker, you mad at this motherfucker because you know this nigga owe me $50, bruh, $50, man. And really, if you gave somebody $50 that you didn't have, you shouldn't have gave it up.
I think that Black people are just really have a large amount of pent up aggression. Why did most Black men back in the days and still to this day come in and be so angry with their Black wives and beat on them and shit? Because the world whooped them down and they couldn't say shit but yes sir and no sir. So they came home and they fucking beat their wife. Or they was just an asshole to their fucking kids and their family and their wife. Maybe no physical abuse, but and it probably was physical abuse.
Yeah.
And the same reason niggas kill each other in the street is because they can't do it nowhere else. And this fucking aggression is pent up and they just letting it go on each other.
But man, if you gonna sit here, what kind of person gonna sit here and call themselves such and such killer or such and such murderer, such and such, but you doing it to Black folks? And then you tell them, well, man, well, go shoot, man, why don't shoot on white boy? They ain't did nothing to me. So, but exactly. you done kill motherfuckers that really ain't did shit to you, but just talk shit
to you.
Ain't did shit to you. You trying to kill somebody like they done rob you for 30 million. Yeah. Motherfucker done rob you for 30 million. He be like, man, it was $30 million. I said, but that is a lot of money.
Yeah, I think I'll kill a nigga for $30 million too. But
$30 million. But you over here, you beefing with this nigga over some shit he talking.
Over some shit or some shit you thought he said, or some shit you thought he said online or some shit.
And he probably ain't say the shit. Somebody might have recorded him saying some shit and it wasn't even about you.
Wasn't even about you.
He was talking about your name was mentioned, but when he was talking that shit, it wasn't about you. It was about that other motherfucker.
White boy walking out to slap your fucking mama. You won't do shit.
You ain't gonna do shit. You won't do it. Will not.
Fucking pathetic.
That's pathetic. Yeah, it's fucking pathetic, bro. And I don't even know how they sit there and can walk around and look the way they look and be like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Because everybody is as lame as the next motherfucker. So it's not like the entry level is where it is.
Man, no, it's not, because, you know, back in the day, man, you had to really, to be respected, you really had to be respected. It wasn't because you pulled pistols. It wasn't because you get respect because you gave respect.
There was a different time frame, respect and everything, and loyalty and all that had to churn. It had to churn before it became real good homemade ice cream. Now, like I said, tomorrow, if you decide to swipe your card enough times and accept enough agreements, you can have 75,000 followers. Right now, tomorrow, it'll be bots, but who cares? People know you're faking them out, but they don't care. Start wearing some chains and you can get all that shit faked him. You can be the man. I mean, literally Monday morning, you'll be a whole nother 10. It ain't work like that back in the days. Everything had to be authentic because everything was hand shook, looked in eyes, shoulder to shoulder, like you had to really be around people. Didn't nobody know you? If another nigga from another town don't give a fuck about you coming, but now niggas can go all over the world and travel from state to state, and when they walk on somebody else's turf or land in another state, they bigger than everybody in that state. That ain't how life used to be.
You was not nobody.
You ain't shit.
But you know what though? But when you went to places, you acted like this ain't my place. I can't come around here talking shit because there's some motherfuckers around here that really call shots. Just like I do where I'm at, it's somebody here that do the same shit here. I don't want to get mixed up because shit, it might be some shit. They might be for real, for real.
You heard it in the music back then. You heard it in the music when there was somebody, whenever a person had a cameo with a rapper, a feature, whatever you want to call it, they always said that person was the gatekeeper in so many words, probably somewhere in one of their verses.
Yeah.
They don't just talk like they walked up in there. Nowadays, you don't know what rappers from where, respect behind it.
It's no respect because for some reason, everybody knows you, but nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. So, I mean, they give you a little respect and all that old kind of shit, but it's phony and false than a motherfucker.
That's what life is. Life is phony and false than a motherfucker.
Yes, today life is phony and false. A lot of shit is not fucking real. Everybody, go.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, because I would say, man, I tell my kids, I tell people this, and even adults, I'm like, you know that shit ain't real. Like, oh man, this bitch be kicking it for real. You really think that's what she doing? You really think that's what she doing? And if she doing it like that, okay, so What did she do? Well, she might be independently wealthy. Yeah, and she did independently wealthy from what? I said, what did you come up on? I just like a po. Okay, well that's cool, but what did she do? She just independently wealthy. I said, so she's selling pussy is what you're saying? Nah. I said, so what makes you think she just like that shit ain't real? You run up on that bitch and shit. She in a 1-bedroom, goddamn.
Driving a fucking 1995 fucking Suzuki.
Nigga, she Uber everywhere. Get a car.
And that Uber shit is not cheap.
Hell no.
I've never been in Uber, but I've heard Ubers ain't cheap.
No, they're not. I did Uber a few times in my life. They not cheap. And my country ass, I'm gonna tell you the first time I did the shit. I'm in Florida. And then when I tell you, I watched way too many goddamn movies and TV shows. Oh. When I tell you, I wouldn't let that door lock, goddamn it.
I knew where Rocky was going. Please go ahead.
I would not let that door lock. Shit, because you know new cars, and they pull off the door. But if you hold a latch a certain kind of way, that bitch, it'll go, but it won't lock. It'll just and come back up. Shit, I would not let that door lock. He's like, so are you here visiting? Yeah. So I'm gonna take over. So man, what do you like? Oh, just I keep it real plain. And at the same time, I'm like, shit. I said, okay. I'm in the back seat, so I got the upper hand.
Oh yeah, I'm always back seat. I'm in
the back seat.
You're going to lose unless you are on a suicide mission. That's the only way. You're not getting me anywhere. Now, if you got me in a car in your mind and you was like the next motherfucker I get in this car, I'm driving us off the bridge. You possibly might can do that because the car is hard to stop and I'm gonna choke you out. I'm gonna kill you before we get out off the bridge. But if you trying to get me to a location and do something,
that ain't man,
we is not making it there.
They ain't gonna make it.
We are not making it. I don't know how you get there. I don't know how the movies be, nigga.
We're not getting there.
And as soon as you that gun out, you finna point that gun on me, nigga. I'm tussling with that motherfucker right there. With that gun ain't never just getting square up on me. Immediately, it's a fight, it's a tussle, and it's not gonna happen. I don't know.
People say we are not making it.
I don't know how to get kidnapped, bro. I
don't know how to do it.
No,
I be thinking that shit too. I was like, man, short of a motherfucker. But a lot of that shit happen, man, when you just not aware of your surroundings, man. You gotta look. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe nobody after me and no shit like that. But when I walk out my place, man, I look to the left, look to the right.
Oh yeah, it's like it's a road right there. I'm always thinking a fucking train can come out of nowhere. Yeah. It's always look to the left, like on Looney Tunes when you look down that long road. You look way down that long road again, and you look again, and you look again, and it's still a car coming. Nigga, I'll look again and then one more time.
And then one more time. Man, but you see motherfuckers be getting took and shit. Like, man, like you ain't looking, but you see people, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. About 70 to 80% of that shit, they looking at their goddamn phone.
Man, I've seen so many people looking at their phone. I let my kids when they was like 4 years old, 3 or 4. I let my baby walk into the trash can. I know plastic trash cans. And she was like playing with the phone on the way to the bus stop one morning, just letting her, And I saw her going to the trash can and wasn't fucking looking at shit but the phone. So I had to let her put her face in that trash can.
Yes, sir.
And give me the phone for the rest of the walk. We got this. Yeah.
Because now you're not even paying attention to life right now.
Yeah, and if I'd have told you don't put your phone up because you're gonna run to a trash can, at 3 she wouldn't say shit, but you'd have been like, oh dad, I got this. Because people always quick to say, I got this. Don't worry about this, I got it.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you something. Them some of the famous last words of a lot of
people. I got this.
I got this.
Yeah.
You ain't got it. No. Because man, I had to learn that shit, man. When the motherfuckers be like, nigga, don't do it, because I done had to hurt myself and do all that shit. But then motherfuckers say don't, I don't, because man, when I say I got this, it might not work out.
Yeah. When we're driving, and I've seen a lot of people go about this the wrong way. If I'm in the car, it's not gonna fly. We're pulling over. I don't get between couples and shit, but if I'm riding, just so happens to be riding with a wife and a husband, and he one of them guys, I can keep going. Don't worry about it. Because when I'm in the car, I don't play that stupid bullshit. When I'm driving, and sometimes it'll get by me just a little bit. You get that long blink. But if my wife say, babe, you got it, I'm gonna say, no, I don't. I'm gonna go and pull over at the next exit. I don't play with that bullshit. But yeah, I'm intervening, man. I'm not driving with no unsafe driver.
That nigga said I'm intervening.
Yeah, I'm intervening. I'm gonna say, no,
Hey,
bro, you go ahead and pull over, man. You ain't right now, cuz. We ain't gonna do this.
Hey, man. Hey, and you know what? You gonna be the next argument they have. You gonna be the first thing out that motherfucker about that woman. She said, "Well, you ain't say that shit to Trump. You told your ass to pull over.
You ain't say it to the shore.
You ain't said that shit to Trump. You told your ass to pull over."
If we was on flat surface and we were not in a moving vehicle, I wouldn't say shit about nothing y'all said. But because I'm in that back seat, I'm gonna say, "Hey, you gonna stop at that train track and look before you go over it?" I mean, let me know. I mean, I don't want this. I don't like this. I don't fly over train tracks.
I know.
And a true story, I was taking my baby to school the other day, and right down from their school is a crossing train track. I said, listen, I said, when y'all start driving on a regular basis, I say, treat train tracks like red lights. The people behind y'all gonna be all right. Please go over train tracks with all caution. I give life lessons all the time, and I know they get sick of that shit, but I just feel like it's gonna save their fucking life one day.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, dog. Cause I know you about them goddamn train tracks, my nigga. Cause you was in the truck with me and we were rolling, going through downtown Ruston. And nigga, I went over those train tracks, nigga. You just put your hand in your head in your hand and just shake your head. You just like, you start explaining. I just think you just need to stop.
I said, sure. Stop.
God damn. You would have thought somebody gave you some bad news because I didn't stop. Shit.
In my mind, the bad news was it. That could have been the last news right there.
Oh my God. Yeah, you cautious as fuck, man. But hey, I feel you, man. Ain't nothing wrong with being cautious, man.
Yeah, had a long time homeboy I've been knowing since 1998. Roommates in college. And he's one of them kind of cats who got muscle cars. And he liked to drive through the curves. You know these curves down here in Monroe, when you're getting back on the interstate, you have to take the long, deep loops. He liked doing about 55 to 60 in them loops. I have never driven with him since.
Yeah.
This has been years ago.
That's old.
You're not gonna get me back in the car. Like I don't play with my own life. And I'm not gonna let you be adventurous with me. I don't do the adventure shit. I'm not into it.
Okay. But I mean, you don't play with your life, but you put yourself last.
I do, yeah. But when it comes to safety, I'm all about some safety, though. I'm gonna stay alive to see the next day. But I mean, you know.
Oh Lord,
you're right. Yeah, I'm gonna play with that safety shit, man. If I'm gonna go on my own goddamn accord. I'm not gonna do it on nobody else's phone.
Yeah, that shit, yeah, man. All that shit, man. Shit crazy, man. That was I was gonna bring up about this goddamn movie, man.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd have seen the day when the Grinch wasn't good enough.
The Grinch wasn't good enough.
It ain't good enough. It ain't. When Troy, you just talked about this, but you want to wait around for certain movies to come on each year. The Grinch Stole Christmas ain't on. Now it's the bitch that stole Christmas.
The bitch that stole Christmas, and it went. It wasn't no segue. It wasn't no medium. It went from.
No, it went left.
And all these shits been still coming on. Frosty the Snowman, the Grinch, Charlie Brown, all that shit still come on. Yeah. And all of a sudden, you turn your TV on one day and you see the bitch who stole Christmas. And not only is it the bitch that stole Christmas, it is a whole drag cast of ladies. Now, neither you nor I have watched this movie, nor will I watch the movie. Just for the record, I'm not against the LGBTQ community. Whatever the case is. I don't want to see the movie. I never will want to see the movie. I ain't gonna watch it. But I think it's a sham of shit that all of a sudden we turn our TVs on and we see the bitch who stole Christmas and it's a whole drag cast.
Man, it's travesty. I mean, that's why I said when you had sent me, what we're gonna talk about, I was like, nigga, I want to talk about this. I say, when I texted to you, I was like, this nigga, he think I'm bullshit. Like I done seen this shit online or something. Nigga, this shit on prime time TV, 8:00 in the morning. They had the commercial on, premiering tonight. The bitch that stole Christmas. And they saying bitch. They saying bitch, the bitch that stole Christmas. And that nigga up there with a wig on, I just don't know why they wore Christmas. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Man, like, come on, man. A kid that's born last month on the 1st, that shit gonna be on when he get about 15, 16. The bitch that stole Christmas. The old Grinch, you show it to him, you're like, what is that?
That looks so pixelated.
They were like, yeah, they gonna be like, you talking about the bitch that stole Christmas? Like no, the Grinch. It's called the Grinch.
Everybody's accepted. I just wondered why that community has thrived so much faster than us. You know, I don't want to call us African American. I don't want to call us none of that shit because a lot of people don't even accept us. I don't think Africans accept us as being African. Like we claim Africa is our motherland, but they have jumped from Charlie Brown, Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph, and all that shit. And that whole little few decades we had that we didn't get, whatever the title could have been, Who Stole Christmas, could have made a black man the Grinch of a town or something. Give him the lead role. Don Cheadle or some shit like that would have been an awesome Grinch. It skipped all of that. And all we got for the last couple of decades was shot in the street, kneeled on our neck, busting our apartments and killed us, all kind of shit. And then they fought for a few years. I'm not going to say they fight ain't been going on for a long time, but they obviously did something that we never thought about doing. I don't know what it is because they already got a fucking a holiday series. They got a holiday movie, and that's big shit to have a holiday movie. A Christmas movie is massive. And the word bitch is in it.
Bitch. But what I understand is them motherfuckers can sit there and say bitch, 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 call every woman a bitch they want to. No problem. It's funny. Laugh it off. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Straight nigga like myself. Like, bitch, you crazy. Who the fuck you calling a bitch? Oh, whoa. Like, where is the fucking median here?
Why?
Like, I mean, so the nigga with the wig on can call you a bitch all day. But the nigga who wear himself as a man say, bitch, I can't believe you said it. Wow. That motherfucker got a dick just like I do.
The minute he goes into, and I don't even want to use the word costume because I don't want to make it seem like I'm not taking this seriously, because what I'm going to say is once RuPaul goes into his, I guess RuPaul is the lady version of him, right? Well, once RuPaul comes to RuPaul is respected as a woman. So it's no longer a man calling a woman. I understand how me and you see it. We see it in a physical sense, the realistic sense.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. Go ahead though.
No, you tell me because I got a whole point to make.
All right. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. When you join that club, and if it sounds derogatory by whoever listening, whatever the fuck, when you join that dick in the booty shit, then women look at you so differently. You're not really a man to them no more. You're not a man to them no more. You're not a man to them. Once you let them know, like, you down with that shit and you do that shit, you really, like, to them, you one of them. So you can grab titties, look at them naked and all that shit because you've been compromised, my nigga. You don't fuck, you get fucked just like them.
Be emasculated.
You demasculated. Your shit gone. That's what I say, man. That's exactly what it is. I'm sorry to stop you, but you go right ahead, Mr.
That's okay. That's okay. And I totally agree with you because that kind of goes back to the point. Whatever makes that woman feel like you're on her side, whether it is emasculation or whatever the case is, or if it's just a lot of men, a lot of drag men, they're not gay. They're just dressed up in drag, and for that moment, for that
you
time, they're drag. Listen, no, I don't believe it.
All right.
But I'm trying to speak and represent them the way I think that the way it should be totally understood. When they dress up like that, they automatically become a part of. They act as if they are what they are. I guess it's kind of like in the wild, an animal that grows up with the wrong family, like on the cartoon. As long as they're acting like that family, those animals. Tarzan was an ape. He was a human, but he was an ape. They treated him like an ape.
Jungle Book.
He act as the apes. The
like
monkeys, the chimpanzees, just like Jungle Book. But now, I think black women, or I think women. Let me make sure I get this correct. Women and black people are equal to me. And like you said, a woman will get mad when a man called them a bitch, no matter how he uses it. It could be in a playful sense. It could be any kind of way. But because you're not in that group, you're not in that grouping, you can't use it. It's not okay for you. Black people would get mad at white people for using the word nigga, but we can call each other nigga all day, all kinds of ways. And we mad at each other. When we see each other, we happy. Nigga is like, nigga, fuck you, nigga. Or it could be like, man, what's up, nigga? It's all kinds of niggas. But because like black people do whatever they can to impress white people, we can agree with that, right? Yeah. And when we get in a position to actually have some kind of power to to groom our success and to pass it on in a positive light, all we do is do the most dumb shit once we get there. All of our rappers and most of our singers rap about bullshit, drugs, bitches, and singers rap about getting fucked and they pussy and they dicks. That's all we rap about. That's all we talk about. Women, just like black people can't represent themselves well, as soon as they get the fucking lights, be like I hate to call these people out, but the Cardis and the Megs, yeah, they're successful. But why is it that as soon as you get some rights, as soon as you get the time to shine, that's what you decide to be?
Hey, that's well, I would say this though. Do you ever think that they really just being themselves?
I think that they would like to be a woman all the time. The majority of them would like to be a woman permanently.
They don't know how, because their idea of a woman is totally different from, it's a generational thing when it comes to the idea of being a woman. It's just like it's a generational thing, with the idea of being a man.
Yeah.
You got motherfuckers calling themselves a man and by no mean or the measure of the fucking stretch.
Absolutely.
Please, you ain't nowhere nearby no man. Man, it ain't but 3 letters in that motherfucker, but it's a lot to stand up to. You know what I'm saying? That you got to own up to your bullshit. You got to stick by a code. You got just a lot of shit to do. But you know what? It's so easy. It's so easy that it's just complicated in a motherfucker.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. It sounds barbaric, but the word man comes with a certain degree of physicality. It just does. I was taking my girls to school, and on the way out, it was a white lady and her autistic kid. Tire blew out. Now, mind you, this school is probably 60-40 white to black. All these people pass by her, so I pull over and help out. And if I wasn't, I'm not gonna say a woman couldn't have done this. If I couldn't have bowled up on that cross thing,
crowbar,
not a crowbar.
It's a cross crowbar. But go ahead.
Yeah. Had I been a woman, and some women I know could probably do this, but that woman couldn't do it. She was on the phone with her husband in another state hunting, and her father was also hunting in another state. So I had to change this tire because her autistic son couldn't do it. So I think the word man comes with a certain level of physicality that a woman needs to stop trying to be like. And the word woman comes with a certain etiquette and femininity that a man needs to quit trying to be like, because most men that are feminine are being, whether they're gay, trans, or whatever, they go over the top with how they act like a woman. Women don't even act like as much of a woman as a queer man does.
Yeah, it does come with physicality. It does come with all that, but it's also a mindset, man. It's a mindset, like putting first things first. Some things don't require a lot of attention and some things do, but being a man, you got to decipher, because sometimes the smallest thing means a lot. So your decisions you make, because really you number one, you really head of the family, and nobody has no idea what it feels like to be number one. Because it's a lot of shit on your shoulder, whether you like it or not, because everything you do, calling yourself a man, especially with your family and how you act in the streets, all that shit, man, you got a lot of weight on your goddamn shoulder. And if you display fuck shit, now you just a man in the sense of the word because you're over 18.
You know what? As you can probably tell by my tone, I'm not an atheist, nor am I a religious believer. I just don't believe in either one, nor do I care to expend the energy to try to think about which one is real or ain't. I really just don't care. I'm just gonna keep living life just normal, just in the middle.
Right.
But I don't understand how this being could have such a big impact on a person's life and their thoughts and their beliefs. But when it comes to people who's clearly not what they say they are, they weren't born that way. And I understand feelings. I get a person can fall in love with anybody, or you can have any kind of feelings. I totally empathize with all that. Do I understand it? No, but I empathize and sympathize with it. But how and why is it so hard for people to see that just because somebody's your cousin, that cousin of yours might be a murderer, they might be a molester, they might be something other than what they're supposed to be. So why can't you chastise in the same way? If you believe in the Bible, from what I understand, because I don't know the Bible front and back, I just think that if somebody like Jesus or God made a species call a man and a species call a woman, and we all say that God don't make no mistakes. Do people say that or not?
Yes.
So why is it that we can accept the fact that so many people are feeling like he made a mistake on them. And it's okay to not question, well, did he make a mistake or did he not? Are you correcting it? I need to know.
I think it's we talking about motherfuckers fucking with each other, man on man, girl on girl kind of shit. I think a lot of people up there in them offices or, you know, places that we don't know nothing about, they say don't exist, they live like that, you know, because people with money and power, they get bored. You know what I'm saying? And that's when they start doing crazy shit.
I don't mean to cut you off, Sam, but I want to redirect you to where we at.
Bet me in.
So people believe that certain things are as they're supposed to be. And I understand that people live a certain way with money. But I think that if Jesus or God or whatever the supreme being is made you a certain way and you believe that person does not make mistakes, Eve bit the apple. That's a mistake. She went over there and she tried something.
Yeah.
Now, if you believe that something is done the correct way, I'm talking about with all perfection, maybe your feelings may have swayed you. Now, I don't understand a man, and maybe I'm biased because two women kissing and having sex don't bother me. Like, I don't mind watching it. But I do not want to see a man and a man doing shit. But both ways. One time, maybe two times are mistakes, if you want to call it that. But as soon as you start saying, I shouldn't have a penis, I should have a vagina, or I shouldn't have a vagina, I should have a penis, and my name should be this, I'm not who I am. Are you questioning the whole existence of what we're supposed to be believing?
What you believe in. That is a very valid fucking point.
And not only do you make people and your creator accept what you're saying,
wow,
you make that person accept you for what you have now become.
And really, and then they'll flip-flop it to be as what we're not supposed to be doing is what we're supposed to be doing now. Because in the good book, the Bible, being gay is not in there. Like man on man shit. That's what Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what the Lot shit come from. You know what I'm talking about?
It clearly says that they were indulging in that kind of shit. And
they were doing that kind of shit. But now you can do this shit. But they quick to be like, they'll throw the Bible at you. But what about that? Now we editing. We're making it work for us.
It's almost like you are telling me about this book and you're saying stuff that's clearly not in there as if I can't go reference to it. Like I could Google the internet and just pull up any scripture and say, but it clearly says right here that this person that you worship said that this person has to get out of this town because the rest of them are doing the exact thing that I should be supporting, because if I don't support it, I hate it.
Right. There you go. Yeah. And that's so crazy now. But they quick to be like, oh, but then to go get married in a church, which is a sanctuary of God, right? So everything that he destroyed a city for, you're condoning. So really, Troy, you bring up a very interesting point.
And not only do the people go in there and get married in there, and the witnesses that have to come to the wedding, they come witness it. Not only that, but there is a clergy member who is performing it. There is a man of the word, the same word that's printed in all these books that's in everybody's
and
house.
They're reading from it.
And they're reading from the book because they picked certain scriptures that and that person wanted to get married from. Read these for us.
Or they'll change the hymn to her. But man, that's what I'm saying. That's scary, dog. So really,
I was an umpire for a little while, and we had to go to these games and get paid by the game. They paid us at the plate. That's what the coaches did. So these clergy members ain't shit but play at the plate umpires. They going to officiate some shit that people just want to happen.
They want to happen. They want to happen. Like, dude, that's what I'm saying. So, man, now that you bring that up, man, that raises a lot of questions. I think a lot of people need to hear this. Homophobia used to be in the medical book was a mental disability. Okay. That's what it was.
Homophobia.
Homophobia.
Okay.
To want to be with the same kind of sex was like it's a mental disability. You're not supposed to want to be with a man. You ain't supposed to be with a woman. You ain't supposed to be with no woman. Supposed to be with a man. You know, that kind of shit. But they went back and redacted it. You can look this up. Like it never happened because it was a sign like it was like a schizophrenic thing. Because schizophrenia, you have somebody in their head. When their head ain't right, you have a man that sit there got a personality that is a straight woman. Because schizophrenia is real and it's fucking scary if you see it in person.
The definition of homophobia is dislike of or prejudice against gay people. That's the literal definition
of homophobia.
Homophobia.
Yeah, that's because they say you're scared.
And you saying homophobic.
Yeah, that's when you like the same sex.
Homophobic is having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against gay people.
Homophobic,
having or showing a dislike. Anything with
what type of homosexual? What do homosexual?
Absolutely. I'll say homosexual. Yes, that is.
Okay. I'm sorry, sir.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, hell, I'm on a rant.
Yeah, you on one.
Yeah, and I don't mind.
Yeah, showing a sexual attraction to people of the same sex. Yeah, of course. But back to what you were saying, like the homophobia and homophobic thing. Like I hate the way that it's worded.
Because I'm not scared of you.
I'm not afraid of you, nor do I dislike you. I don't have a prejudice towards you. I don't have any of that stuff. I just choose to be a little bit, and I guess the word turned off might be a little much because I don't care. They probably don't give a fuck. They turn me on no way. But it's a little grotesque to me when I see two men approaching one another's faces or even talking to each other like they're about to like start liking each other. All that shit kind of freaks me. I don't want to see none of that shit.
But you know why? And this might be to their point, but maybe not. As we were raised in our family, we saw what a man was.
Yeah.
A man talked to other men like men.
Yeah.
Even you can see a little, every hood had an ain't shit nigga, around it. Sometimes you see the men be like, man, get your motherfucking ass out here. They'll cuss him out, all that shit. He's still a man. We ain't gonna beat him up. Just get his ass out of here. But we knew what a man was. From
a nice distance too.
A nice distance. You know what a man was. A man didn't play.
Once you walk up, you embrace, you get off, you get your distance and you converse.
And that's it. You sit there and talk, put your hands in your pockets or whatever you're doing. You're like, yeah, brother, you know what I'm saying? You then you go about your business. But nowadays, a lot of these men are not men. They're born males, but they're not men.
They're born males, but they're not men.
They're not men. That's just something that it can't be taught. It comes with life and how you handle yourself. It's sometimes saying no when you wanted to say yes, but no was the right answer.
That concludes this episode of The Wormhole. Join us next time to see what shit goes in the hole and comes out the other side gold.